Actually, it started off really bad. My statistics teacher last semester, I thought he was the scariest person of my life the first day I walked in. He was saying, I just remember he looked like the nicest person, but right whenever the bell rang, he told us to all to shut our mouths, like sit down, put our pencils out. We had a quiz the first day, and he just said, like, if you don't come to my office hours and come every single day, this is the hardest class of your life and you will fail. And that was the scariest thing for me. But it turned out that his meanness, like, made us respect him. And he turned out to be the best teacher I've ever had. And so, I guess, I don't know, it was bad at first, but it turned out to be really good. And I made like a 95 in that class, which is really good.
She jokes around and stuff, but when it's time for us to learn, she like, doesn't play around. She makes us do our work.
My first calculus teacher here, Dr. Treisman, he was the best teacher I've ever had. He really was. I mean, he took the time to, actually talk about the material, talk about how to apply it, not just how he could use it, but he understood that whenever you talk to a class and there's just silence whenever you finish talking about a subject, he realized, that doesn't mean everyone understands it. That means everyone's kind of too shocked about just the massive amount of information they've had. He had a ton of review sessions, he gave a ton of extra credit. I think everyone there pretty much passed the class. But they didn't pass just because he gave out A's. They passed because, they understood, and he really inspired them to go and attend the extra sessions. That's really what it was.
A good experience. My teacher last year, like, whenever you need help, he helps you. He's a hands-on teacher, and he's there whenever you need him. Like, if you need tutoring, he'll make sure you get your tutoring in, and just there to help you learn more.
My Spanish professor here, I guess 2 years ago, was really great. He had a great impact on me. I feel like he was really into what he was doing, and you could tell that he really loved teaching and that he really wanted to make sure that all of his students were learning as well. He was just so helpful, and I learned so much in that class.
It was Miss Donahue, because I was in a military brat, and so I was in Oklahoma for junior high school, and she was an excellent teacher. She was my English teacher, 9th grade. We had a bunch of kids in there that didn't like English, didn't want to learn, and she asked them, what are you interested in? And the boys said football. So she made a game about predicates and nouns and verbs and putting compound sentences together, playing football. And so she moved all the desks out, and we played football, and after that the kids didn't have a problem. We all passed our test, we all understood what we were doing, and got excited about doing other things and wanted to actually be in class. Very rarely happens in English.
I had a really good high school English teacher. I didn't even know that I liked English until I was in Mrs. Graham's class. And she was amazing, and I'm still in contact with her today. So.
Yeah. What is it that you?
I liked about her. She made English cool. No one likes to read, but she made it to a point where it was interesting, and I like going to her class every day.
I have an instructor that was in, actually it was a communications instructor. And this is an individual that he taught on a part-time basis, and he worked full-time. So he had work-life experience, and so he shared a lot of work-life experiences with us that I think were, to me anyways, more beneficial than something that's picked up from a book.
My sociology teacher that I have this year, Professor Flynn, he's pretty cool. He likes to interact with the students and discuss basically, like, he doesn't criticize you when you answer a question or disagree with him, so I just really like that class.
I want to give a shout out to my teachers at my Montessori school, because after having taught there and seen all the methods, I just think that's such a cool approach for young children, because it's just tailored to their developmental stage, and they're just like little sponges when they do everything, and it's right when they need it, and it's at their discretion.
The good experiences was they always let me know, when something is good, when they're doing a good job, they're going to do a good job. Even when they're not doing a good job, they will call me, email me, or, this happened today, and can you kind of just, help them, steer them in this direction right here, because they're not, they're hanging out with the wrong kids, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. They didn't turn it in, homework, and I'm like, well, I know they did it, so why didn't they turn it in? So then it's my job to see why they didn't turn it in. Well, I forgot. It's there, but they were just lazy. So I really appreciate that too, when the teachers let me know that they didn't turn in their homework when I know they did do it.
I remember when high school there was a point, probably like about 10th or 11th, I think it was 10th grade, where I was being very rebellious, and I just had two teachers who took a really positive interest and wanted me to kind of get back on focus, and they just reached out to me and sort of kept me on track, and I thought that was important because I still remember that. Like, I think if it had been not had happened, I could have maybe gone a different route and not have finished school.